Hey everybody, this is Saturday, midday-ish. Let me give you an idea kind of where we are with this guy. If I did, remember I got this guy fit, and then last night I thought this part was a little bit too high, so I did a little bit of shaping to bring it down a little bit. We still have our sit-in pegs right here. I have ordered, and they're supposed to be coming, I believe, Thursday. But these really nice, fancy-looking pegs. And I probably won't film putting them in there, but once I get them in there, I'll show you the difference in those. So, to be honest with you, the last thing we have to do before we do like a clear coat sealant and then start adding the color to this guy is, see right here on the back plate, I have to make this guy. I have to shape him to this heel. You see where it sits on top of there. So the way I'm going to do that, I always start with my little X-Acto saw here. So this one's actually not too bad. It's usually a lot wider. I'm just going to try to, I'll saw this kind of off right here. And I'm going to just bring it down both sides and get like a rough shape. And once I do that, I'll come right back. I'll show you what it looks like. And I'll show you, I'll use some files and scrapers and stuff just to kind of get it to the more final shape. And as I'm just looking through this, it's just some shaping that I have to do when they just ran through this they do what's called duplicarvers, where they have one and they just run the thing over top of it and the router cuts it off the other side. It looks like they just skimp through some of it. So I'm going to, before I go through and add the color or the clear coat, I'll just make sure everything's kind of cleaned up. But yeah, man, we're heading towards the finish line. Things start moving pretty quick now, so I'll be back with you in 1 second as soon as I can get some of this extra stuff off, show you where we are, and then we'll move from there. Hey guys, so that didn't take too long at all. Cool. So you can see, took some of the access around here. There's, I still gotta kind of bring this down and then just kind of meet them together. The goal is to get it to look, you're still gonna see just the little line from the seam there, but you almost want to see like everything just melts together. Now, what I typically do is, probably don't have it out here, do I? Is use, the file. This one's the metal file, but I'll use the other one and just slowly go by. But here's what I'm going to try, because I've gotten much better using my Dremel tool. And I actually used it for one of my necks that I was carving out from scratch, and it made a lot of stuff quite a bit quicker. Not necessarily easier, but just quicker. Oh, there it is. This guy was hiding. So there's my wood file was hiding underneath one of my knives there. Alright, so yeah, I'm going to try that. So I have a Dremel tool, and I have a bunch of different attachments for it, but the thing that I find I use the most is just this little barrel sander, because just nice and slow, and it can go around there pretty quickly. Let me get it plugged in here, and I'll just do a pass or two to give you an idea of what I'm doing here. Alright, now just gonna get it here. Bring down some of these sharp edges here, try to give it a little bit more of a shape. So let's see, with these guys, it's really easy to take off the sharp edges and try to get some, try to get a better shape going, and then and you can kind of do it in from there. Now, what the one thing you watch out for is it doesn't take a whole lot for this little barrel sander to heat up that wood and burn it a little bit. So you can see right here, that's actually from the heat and friction. So you just got to be very light and very gentle with it, so you don't end up burning the wood. So yeah, I'm gonna go a little bit. I'm gonna change out the barrel sander. And I highly recommend one of these guys. It's just a kit with everything in it. Let's see here. See if I had it in the Dremel toolbox itself. Nope. Alright. So I don't remember what it's called, but I get it I know it when I see it. Boom, 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 boom. Is it this one? No, it's just another sander. Yeah, a little bit thinner of a sander. I'm gonna try. It might just be that sander is not as. That's be all right. All right, so I'm gonna just actually use that same thing, and just go it down a little slower. I have for my actual drill. You saw my yellow drill. I have some drill bits that you can put in there, and they're basically just rasp file bits, if you want to call them that. And I don't think I actually think they're out in my toolbox. Oh wait, no, I have them right here. Sweet. All right, so I have these guys, and they're pretty handy. You know what? I'm not going to use it for that though. I use these for when I'm carving out the neck, and when I get down into this guy here, trying to get some shaping. Instead of just using my file, I will use these as well. They unfortunately do not fit in here, so I'd have to use them with a drill. So I'm going to stick to the what I was just using with that sandpaper. I'm just going to take my time with it, bring it down as close as I can, and then I'll show you, and we'll just have to work it from hand for a little bit. Again, then after that, really, it's time to spray on the clear, and then start adding the pigment colors to it and everything. So I'll be back with you guys in a couple minutes. All right, guys. As you can see, you saw Sean last week. This is my beautiful 5-year-old Avery Grace. Now, this is where we're at. You can see from here that it's much. Oh, Sean's gonna peek his head in there. It's a family affair, folks. You guys can see here. I got it pretty close, and I'm still. Hey, Em. Oh, yep. Come on in. We got all 3 of them here. All right, come around this side of me, babe. All right. This guy is my second grader, Emma Riley. This is Avery Grace, and Sean Marshall's kicking something on the floor. A high achievement household. All right, you guys can see it's starting to get shape there, and you can see from this side, it's still overlapping that a little bit on that side. This side's pretty close. So now, here's one of the things you want to be careful for when you get this all down here, is that this edge is rounded here. So when I cut this guy in there, you see it's flat here. So I'll take off that bump, and then with my scraper, I'm going to come by, take the edges off, try to match that. And the same thing over here. Or sorry, there you go, right there. This one, I still got a little bit of an edge there. So I'm going to continue taking it off, and I'll show you guys as soon as this is done. All right, guys. I took a lot of time, really. Part of the reason it took a lot of time is because Avery Grace was standing right here the whole time asking me questions about everything I did. So I'm always more than happy to tell her what I'm doing. I use this a little bit to kind of just get down into the corners here. That's always the hardest. And as I'm just going right here, I can feel there's a high spot on this side. It's not on this side. So it's going to take a little bit more finessing to get it exactly the way I want to be. But if you recall, and you can always look back earlier in the video. Again, I used just a utility knife. I have a few different knives. I even have it's up in one of these top drawers here. But excuse me, it's a good kit that I believe I got from Michaels. You can get them at any Michaels, AC Moore, whatever. But it's a blue thing, and I think it's X-Acto is the company, but it's an X-Acto knife. And they have different curvature blades. They have, you know, a bunch of different things that just swap out of that handle, which is pretty useful. I just, you know what, this is just a regular, I think I got this, I think I got it from Northern Tools, but I used to have a Craftsman just like this one. And these guys are awesome because, you know, the blades come out. And I just, you know, they're dirt cheap, and I don't always have to worry about sharpening the blade. It's just been great for this kind of stuff. All right, so as you remember, it was big and oafy looking, and as you can see, now it almost looks like it's all one piece here. Now, it's kind of hard to see right here. Let me get this one. It has this weird white spot in the wood. But now, as I'm looking at this bottom part, I can see, like right here, this part has a little bit more a steeper slope to it than this one. So it looks like this. Going to try to bring this guy down just a little bit, and then we're going to try to just clean it up, round it off. But as you can see, I mean, it's really good right now. And this is, we're going to call this the heel of it, okay? So then it just kind of looks like it melds into this piece that's on the back side. So I'm going to go back and finish it and see if, and if you can see it a little bit clearer on here once I get it done, then I'll show you guys again. But if I don't, it's because you basically saw the biggest changes that you're going to see. So I'm gonna finish this guy up, and then what I'll do is I'll take these pegs out, and then tonight, you know, the next part about this is the basically the clear coat that seals the pores of the wood. Because when we put the varnish on, I've done varnish a bunch of different ways, but you want it to sit on top of the wood. You don't want it to sit down in the wood. It's going to make it, you know, it's going to, from what I understand, it reduces the ability for the wood to vibrate. So you think that the vibrating wood, the vibrating air, that's what's going to create the sound and the tone. So you want it, you want those pores as clear as possible. Traditionally, they used to use like egg whites, just literally egg whites to just do it. But that takes forever. I've seen ground layers, different what they call ground layers of you know, putting it together. And I will be honest with you that the easiest way I have found is it's by the company Shellac, and it is a clear, I gotta see the can, but it's basically a clear wood sealer or clear coat. So I use that. I'll spray just a couple of coats on it. It literally dries in about 10 seconds. I'm sorry, not 10 seconds, 10 minutes. I believe it says 5 minutes, but I always just give it, you know, I spray it, hang it up in the garage, give it about, you know, half hour to go. And what that had allowed me to do on the one that I'm currently using at school is I use oil paints as the pigments, as opposed to, you know, putting the pigments in the varnish itself. I use that spray-on clear coat sealer, and I will basically use very thin layers of oil paint, which you'll see later. I may have to do this as two separate videos, but so thin enough to be transparent but still give you the tone. Now the thing about the oil paint as opposed to just the varnish with the pigments in it is that the oil paints take longer to dry. But I've noticed with that spray-on clear coat, I've been able to apply it on, you know, before, because I don't need to use a brush, so it's not going to move the oil around. It just literally lays right on top of that, and they dry together fairly quickly, and it allows me to get stuff done a little bit quicker. So that's kind of what I'm going to be doing. Yeah, so, and again, the big thing was just shaping this, the back plate to the heel of the neck, and we're almost good to go. That's one of the things that takes a little bit, because you want it to be as perfect as possible, you know what I mean? So in the next video, we'll start putting the color onto this, because I'll spray the clear coat on first. Actually, I'll be honest with you, I'm probably going to go spray that right now. That way it's ready to add color to tonight. So I'll see you guys back here a little bit later. I'll do it. I'll start a second video. I'll put it to question 2 on this week's assignment as well. So I'll see you guys in a little bit.